flash your passion into the sky. We add new colors to your life. We help you choose the opportunities that are waiting for you on your path. We teach you to be devoted. We together discover the new taste of the generation. We develop your culture. We commit you to form a quality people in life. We are Atharva, a leading brand of education and technology. A place where you learn all parameters of life, where you build your attitude. Atharva, a destination of your future dreams.
My name is Fatima. Hello everyone, my name is Fatima Paul. I'm a student of PGDM SEM 1 studying in Atharva School of Business. So recently a management conducted advanced Excel certification course, and through which we have learned a lot of things in this course, and this will definitely going to add on strength in my ability and will help in my career. And I really thank Atharva School of Business for conducting such a great program, and thank you so much.
Who have the drive, the vision, and the desire to make the impact. We at ASB bring out the best in business with more than 3000 plus alumni who is currently creating a great impact in the world. Hi, I am Arya Solanki and I am here to tell you that Atharva School of Business has ranked amongst the top B schools. Through our initiative under CSR Club Sparsh, we inspire students to contribute to the marginalized community and help them to make ethical decisions. With more than 30 highly qualified and experienced faculty who are here to train you today so that you can lead tomorrow. We at ASB has what it takes to create the best version of you, the best program, the best experience, and the best location. Best for the world.
Greetings to all. My name is Laya Acharya, PGDM student of Atharva School of Business. We at Atharva get to learn and experience something new every single day. Moreover, we have insightful professors and industry experts on board to guide us throughout the academic year. We have got wonderful infrastructure with all the amenities like Innovation Lab, smart classrooms, seminar halls, admirable swimming pool, and then of course our library, which is a one-stop place for students to get all of their study resources and a comfortable environment for reading. This library offers variety of collections ranging from periodicals, journals, business magazines, and much more. Apart from that, I am a member of Marcom team contributing in the content creation of all social media posts. With such hands-on exposure and opportunities, Atharva helps me elevate my skills. Thank you.
Friends about applying to Atharva School of Business for a PGDM? Well, I've got some highlights which will help you in quick decision making. At Atharva School of Business, we are learning and growing every day from the best of the faculties and industry experts. I am talking about the ease of coordination and approachability of the faculties with the students. We're getting hands-on business exposure in this practical course which emphasizes on internships, organizational studies, and on-the-job assignments, which has not only helped me sharpen my interpersonal skills but also my communication skills. We have multiple certificate programs like Advanced Excel and Data Analytics. We have ASB MAP, which is a mentoring accelerated program where students are mentored by industry professionals. Now it is about state-of-the-art facilities. We are housing best of the labs such as innovation labs, smart classrooms, a beautiful swimming pool, and a library where knowledge and literature is available in abundance.
A very warm welcome. Sukanya ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Very warm welcome to today's guest of speaker, Mr. Alok Ranjan sir, our beloved President Sri Sunil Rane sir, AGI Director Dr. Nimade sir, Sefali ma'am, Director of ASB Dr. Swati Parab ma'am, ASB faculty members, and all the participants. Today we are gathered here for a truly exciting webinar that explore into the future and present of technology, specifically focusing on one of the most transformating field of our time, artificial intelligence. Dear all, today's our topic AI for everyone, how it's make your life easier, captivating by our guest of speaker, Mr. Alok Ranjan sir. Alok Ranjan sir is co-founder at Tauran Advisor. He is founder and CEO of Peterobic. Sir, once again I welcome you on behalf of the Atharva School of Business. And sir, over to you.
Sure. So thank you so much, sir, for that warm introduction, and very welcome to all of you for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. As sir introduced, I am Alok, and let me just give you a brief background about myself before we actually get into the IT and AI part of it. I know that's very interesting, but we will try to make it more interesting. Let me start with few questions, right? And then we'll talk about my background. So, where do you see yourself 2 years from now? If I ask questions to all the students who have joined now this session, where exactly do you see yourself 2 years from now? Any shout outs, any answers from anyone? I'll keep it very interactive, so it's not your regular webinar where you join and just you go to deep sleep. That's not going to happen. I love conversations, so please, anyone, where exactly do you see yourself 2 years from now? Okay, let me answer it for you. So I think the most important answer for you is you want to see yourself joining a good, flashy organization which gives you a good career start and making a lot of money, right? And that's why the program from Atharva is important, because that will provide you that kind of foundation which will help you to start your journey, and you would be able to take your careers to a new path and new dimension. So with that, let me just give you a brief background. So yes, I mean, long time ago I also did went for an MBA. I earned MBA. After 2 year of program, I started my career with an organization called ITC in Bangalore. And from there, I moved on and worked with various organizations, including Vodafone. I worked with Tata Communications. I worked in consulting for over 6 years with a US based firm. And then I passed, say, stint was with a firm called Ananda Technology, where I was the global chief marketing officer. And since last year, I came out after so many of years of experience. I thought, why not become an entrepreneur and start an advisor. So we are now headquartered in Thailand, Bangkok, and we work globally with multilateral banks, including the World Bank, UNICEF, UNDP. So we work on the projects initiated by these institutions, and we also work with global clients who are based in countries like Africa and Asia, including Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, per se. So that's what we do as an organization. So from there, I will definitely, as I said, I have another question for all of you. And this question is, how many of you actually have used generative AI or heard about AI, or maybe accidentally used, or one of your friends said, why don't you go and use AI? It will help you to do XYZ things, and it's just like a magic wand. So can I see some show of hands, please? You can switch on your audio and speak as well, if you can, please. Yes, so I got a hand from Faraz Mohammed. Yes, others, please. I'm sure most of you would have by now at least know about AI, have used AI in many sense, right? So what I'm going to do is I know technology sounds boring, but it is not, because I am a non-techie person. I did my graduation in agriculture, which is BSc in agriculture, and then I went on to do an MBA. So my background is a non-tech. I am not an engineer, but I worked with technology companies for the past 20 years, and now I am very much a techie, understanding the functional aspect and business aspect of how various technology is being used. And that is what is going to be expected of you as well once you join the corporate. So that is what you will be expected, because it's there is a lot that all of us need to learn about technology, in whether you are taking marketing, whether you're going for HR specialization, whether you're finance specialization, or yeah, I mean, if you go for a systems or IT specialization, then yes, definitely there's no escape from IT. But even if you are from different other specializations, as I said, marketing, HR, finance, there is no escape from technology today. Because if I just talk about marketing, there are some 6,000 plus technology tools which marketers have access to today, and that makes it very, very complex for marketers to decide which technology tool to use. And that can only happen, but once you understand technology, once you know that okay, I can use this particular technology for these purposes, then only you will be able to leverage technology and present it to the your bosses and grow up in your career. So it's like technology is interweaved in our lives, and there is no escape from it at this point in time. So yeah, I mean, let's start loving technology, even if we feel that no, I just don't know technology. It doesn't matter whether you are a BSc grad, or whether you are a BCom or a BA, or a non-IT background, or a BCA, whatever you are, it just doesn't matter. It's so easy to understand, because I feel when I can learn, anyone can learn. Because I came from an agricultural science background, right? Imagine I have studied biology, botany to the core for 4 years, and then I started working on tech. Started with I've been working on SAP technology. It took me some time to understand it, but once I started to understand it, it became quite interesting, and it became very, very easy for me to learn. So I devised certain ways to learn about technology, because it's like you have to take certain things in a literal term. You have to create your own analogies to understand, and then it becomes like a cakewalk for you to technology. You do not go through and mug up lot of tech terms. You don't need that. As business managers, you need only the functional understanding of technology. You will not be asked to do a coding or a developer work which a developer would do, because you are not developers. Once you become business manager, you have to learn how to manage developers, and you can only do that once you understand technology, what exactly he is building, how exactly he is testing, how exactly we have to deliver it to the client. So that's how you learn technology, right? And I'm sure most of you would get placed in some of the big IT companies, including Infosys, TCS, Wipro, and all of that. So yeah, I mean, let's start with this. So thank you so much for joining today, and thank you also for starting your journey with Atharva School of Business. And I'm sure a lot of good things are ahead for you during your 2-year program. So yeah, I mean, let's move to the. Can you please move to the next slide, please? Yes. So another question: can computers think? This is the question which we feel that okay, 2022 November, AI came, and Chat GPT, OpenAI, all of us became so crazy about it. Yeah, I mean, AI is so new. This just came few years ago, right? That's not true altogether. I mean, if you look at this history of AI, we go back to 1950s, and there was this man called Alan Turing, who is actually credited with conceptualizing or thinking behind how computers can think. And if you look at this, so he is the man who started to think about, can computers think, right? And that's where was the origination of the idea of something called artificial intelligence. Because That's how, or that's what artificial intelligence do right now. They think, they help us to think in a more refined way. They analyze lots of information, lots of data, and give us something which, if in a human mind, if we try and analyze, say, billions of parameters, it's just humanly impossible. We would take at least 10 years to analyze it and understand, if I have to just go through billions of parameters just to learn and do this, all of this, right? But with AI, you can do these things in the minutes. Even if like smaller tasks, finer, easier tasks, like writing a piece of content, you can generate this piece of content in minutes or seconds now, which wasn't possible before generative AI. So we see, we have AI is not generative AI, is something that we need to understand. Generative AI and AI, which is traditional AI, are two different wings of AI. So that is something which we would want to understand. There are lots of examples that I've covered in this, and would love to you that you ask a lot of questions. Don't worry whether the questions are silly questions or tough questions. Just shoot them at me so that I can provide you a good answer to those questions, right? And let's make it very, very interactive. So have your microphones on and ready for with questions for me. Can we please move to the next slide, please? Right. So what you see on your screen is four images, right? And these are all AI generated images. Has any of one of you come across these images in the past, where you have a Xi Jinping standing beside a basketball with Angela Merkel, or a Pope playing basketball with Kim Jong-un, right? And Mr. Modi walking with Joe Biden, right? Putin playing again with Xi Jinping. So these are some of the things which can only happen in fantasy, right? And if we go back, like if you go to say, and then majority of you must have seen movies, and like, okay, so let me just ask one question. How many of you are interested in sci-fi movies? How many of you have actually watched sci-fi movies or love to watch sci-fi movies? Have you watched Star Wars or something similar, Terminator kind of movies, or Universal Soldiers kind of movies? Have you watched them? Robocop, all of that. So because we are going to discuss all of that today. Has anyone watched these kind of movies? Any show of hands, please? Yes. So yeah, I see Alvaz raising hands. Absolutely. So most of you would have done that, right? Most of you would have done that. So what AI has done for us is, now it is bringing all the sci-fi things into reality. And that's what we are trying to understand today. That is what we are trying to get a sense of, or get a hang of it. So we will try and understand the applications of AI. We will try and understand what exactly is AI in such a simple term that after 60 minutes from now, you would be able to at least get some understanding of, yes, this is what AI is, and you would be in a position to use AI better for when you are using them now. So if you could move to the next slide, please. Now, how many of you have come across these images ever in your past? Because you must be on Instagram, you must be on many other portals. I'm sure all of you must be on Instagram, right? Anyone who is not on Instagram, who feel that, yeah, I don't want to be there. Anyone on a digital detox kind of thing? Yeah, okay. So it's really difficult to have kind of that kind of digital detox these days, right? Because we are digitally connected. So what you see on our screens is a bottle of Coca-Cola, right? These are all Coca-Cola cans. Now, one interesting piece of information about these cans is, these cans were not designed by Coca-Cola company themselves or anyone associated with Coca-Cola company. There was a European designer or a creative design enthusiast who took to Midjourney, which is again a generative AI tool, and created or conceptualize how exactly if Coca-Cola has to come forward and design their cans specifically for different countries. So what you see here is we have on your right, we have a Coke can from India. There is a Coke can from Estonia. There is one from China. There is one from Turkey. So each country, there are 6, 7 countries that this guy represented, and he presented all the in every out of this in this. So what we can learn from this is now generative AI kind of technology. We need not spend billions or millions of dollars with design team to come up with something or a new idea, and all of this can be done by artificial intelligence. So that is the kind of technology we are talking about today, and that is the kind of impact which AI has today. So there is more that we will talk. Any questions? Anyone wants to understand any story on this? Okay, so let's move to the next slide, please. Can we play this clip? Okay, I guess there's no audio, so maybe we'll have to reshare it with audio.
Okay, so just I'll check just 1 minute.
Yes, please. Yeah, so what we are going to see is a movie. Okay, it's a 1 minute clip from a movie which is not generated by or not made by humans. Let's try and go through this, and then we will have a lot of comments. And I'm sure many of you must be movie buffs who love to watch movies over weekends or in your free time, or sometimes even during your work time, right? So let's try and watch this as well. Okay, I think audio is still an issue. Uh, yeah, we got it. Yes.
We got some activity out here. Are you receiving a signal? Do you copy?
Is that what I think it is?
Oh, Jesus. The signal is coming from a mountain. That sound, it could be the wind. It could be wires gone bad. It could be a number of perfectly explainable phenomena. Jesus.
Yes. So that's a 12-minute movie actually. So in the interest of time, I have just taken a clip of it. Has any one of you watched this movie in the past or come across it at any time while surfing on YouTube? Any raise of hands, any show of hands there? Okay. So I believe I take the answer as no. So anyone knows the name of the movie, or can you guess the name of the movie? It's quite evident. So this movie is called Frost, and this movie was made in the year 2023, actually. So it appeared in 2023, around 2022, 2023 time, made through generative AI. So what we are going to see, and one very interesting say data point that has come with respect to this particular movie is by 2030, we are expecting at least say 10 to 15% of the movies being made through generative AI. And this is at least, so there could be more number of movies that gets made by generative AI. And that's where we are heading in the future, right? So let us understand how important this particular technology is, because if we do not learn to use it properly, there are certain slides which will obviously awaken you in terms of whether you will be eligible for a job or not. And I'm sure a lot of you must have questions. Can AI take my job? What if AI is going to do everything for me and all of that? So we will answer that as well, but that's where we are moving right now. So there's a lot of complexity coming in, and technology is trying to solve that. So if you can move to the next slide, please. Yes. So this is a very, okay, I think the slides drop. So yeah, I mean, while the slides come up, what we saw was a very nice, interesting location, which is an exotic location of a British island somewhere in the Caribbean. Okay, and let that come up once again, and then let me ask another question to all of you. Can we please go one click back? Yes. Yeah, I think now you can see this clearly, right? So can you guess which location is this? I think you had a clue in the next click as such. Any guesses? Anyone? Just throw some name. It could be Maldives, Mauritius. There are so many exotic locations in the world, right? Seychelles, or go to Jamaica, Guyana, right? There's a lot of exotic places in the world. So this particular island is called Anguilla. It's a British island. It's somewhere in the Caribbean. Now, the important part that we need to understand with respect to why exactly are we talking about an exotic location and we're talking about artificial intelligence is because when we use any website, we come across this term called .ai. And today, if you see a lot of technology companies, especially AI focused companies, they have something called .ai added to their websites, right? What exactly is .ai? So it's a domain registry place which is like for India you have nick.in, right? Or .in is for India. .com is something which is global. UK has its own .co.uk. So each country has their own country specific domain. So this island has a domain which is called .ai, that is specific. So the domain registry of .ai is owned by Anguilla, right? So if we go to one click, can we click on this and move to there's an animation? Yeah. Yes. So if you look at this graph, right? So in 2017, the revenue made from .ai website domain, because if you have to purchase a website, we just need to go to godaddy.com or hostgetter.com or hostinger.com, or there are multiple other domain providers that we can just go and log in and purchase a domain. So if we go and purchase, so what happens is, why from 2017 to 2023, the value of sale from that particular domain has grown to more than 30 million US dollars. So a country which was originally earning money by getting tourists to visit their location, it was more of a tourist location. So now is also earning revenue by selling .ai domain. right? And that's increasing every day. So in the next 2 to 3 years, it is going to turn into billions of dollars that will come to the economy of Anguilla just by selling .ai domain. And today you go and try to purchase any .ai domain, automatically your cost of domain will be higher as compared to a .com or a .in or any other .net or .org domains. So that's the value of .ai at this point in time. If we can move to the next one. Any questions, anyone? Right. So another question. How many of you have, heard about or bought this drink, zero sugar Coca-Cola Y3000? Has anyone purchased this in any shop or seen it in any shop? No. Okay. I get a no from X Factor. Very nice name. Right. So yes, because we have not bought it or because it's not available for sale. Right. It's a limited edition Coca-Cola product, which the company launched last year. And the primary purpose of launching this particular product was to create an interest around. Yes, so Alvaz again says never seen this before. That's true. We have never seen this because this is not available commercially. So what Coca-Cola did was they wanted to use artificial intelligence technology for to create a product, because their job is to create new products that are aligned to the taste of the local culture, or to different countries, geos and all of that, right? What Coca-Cola did was they tasked or they created prompts for generative AI to come up with a product with a fictitious name called Y3000, which is futuristic. So, say 30 years from now, how exactly a Coca-Cola can or a bottle or a print would look like. And this is the end result. What we see here on the screen is Coca-Cola Y3000 that we have here. In fact, Coca-Cola also created a website where people can go register and have a 3D immersive kind of experience of getting into a Y3000 world altogether, where you see different kind of products which are related, uh, devised around it. It's like a metaverse created around this particular product, right? So that's the kind of experience. And as an organization, if we talk about Coca-Cola, then obviously this is the business of creating experience than creating a sugary drink, right? It is creating experience for all of us, and that's what they did with this particular product using generative AI once again. Any questions? So how exactly does or what's the flavor that generative AI thinks that this product would taste like, right? I think that's a very important, because we always love the flavors, right? That's very important, especially if we are foodies. We love to taste food. So, and this particular product was, and what AI predicted, what this could have a mix of berries. So it will have a berry kind of flavor with banana and a lot of other things, ultimately tasting like a big bubble or something like that. Right? So it's like a bubble gum taste that comes like an ultimate product. Which so if any of you prefer that kind of taste, then yes, that's Y3000 how it would taste like. Of course, this is non-existent. Any questions on this? Okay, let's move to the next one. Yes. So now what we are going to try to understand is, because initially I talked about artificial intelligence and generative AI, right? They are not the same. So let's try and understand first about artificial intelligence and different components of artificial intelligence and how exactly it works. Right. So we start with what exactly is artificial intelligence. Let's understand that. If you could please click on the slide, it will appear. Yes. So, see, it's like you try and understand technology in a very easy way, right? And the best way to understand technology is you just break the terms. So, you have two words here, right? Artificial and intelligence. So, intelligence, we know the ability to process things, the ability to understand things. Some of us can do it faster, others can take time to do it and then that is what we call it intelligence, right? And there are various matrices and all of that that has been created to measure the intelligence. There are tests that measure our intelligence or how we think and all of that, right? So that's the intelligent part of it. Artificial, right? Something which is non-human. Something which is non-human, you cannot go and touch, feel it, right? So something that is non-human is artificial, right? Now, if what we do we bring both the terms together to understand it. If artificial, we're talking about intelligence or ability to think, and we're talking about something which is virtual or non-touchable kind of intelligence. So what we do here is we bring both the terms together and we see if something that actually mimics the intelligence of humans or something which thinks like human, behaves like human, acts like human, so it becomes artificial intelligence, right? So that technology is called artificial intelligence. So machines, when machine starts to act or behave like human and like they have developed that reasoning power of understanding power, storing power, that's what is called artificial intelligence, and that is what we will learn. Now, if we go to the another layer, there is a subset of artificial intelligence. If we can click the next one, ma'am. So there is a subset of it called machine learning, and I'm sure all of you would have heard these terms today. There are lots that's being written, it's being talked in websites, news, everywhere, and you would have learned it at your graduation level as well. Machine learning, this is term which is becoming quite popular now. So what exactly is machine learning? So again, let me just break this to learning, right? The power to learn, the process with which we are learning, right? So we're trying to understand what do we learn what do we do when we try to learn something? We understand the data, right? We try to read sentences, we try to read paragraphs, we try to paraphrase something, we try to go through sentences, paragraph, and a lot of other things, right? Reports, content in different formats, videos, uh, write-ups, songs. So we learn from a lot of other formats of things. Now, if we bring the term machine, we know, right? Again, a non-human entity, which can, which has again the bringing the two terms has the ability to learn all of this. And how exactly it is learning? So it is learning again from data and improving the performance. So the ability of human to learn, to create, to like if we listen to a particular song for say number of times, what exactly happens? It happens like we start to hum that particular songs in our minds, or if we just keep walking and we are just strolling somewhere and we can hum that music, right? So exactly here, so machines here definitely do not hum like humans, but yes, they also start to remember it, they also start to relate one data to other, they also start to understand and improve human performance, right? Now, if what is exactly happening is machines or technology is enabling us with this kind of capability wherein humans will do not require to do certain tasks, or they can just automate these some of these tasks. So let us try and learn more about it. Can we click on the next one? So let's learn about this term called deep learning, right? So what exactly is deep learning? I mean, if I remember when we were studying for exams, so some of us used to say it's like a colloquial term. I have studied this topic deeply, right? I mean, in-depth study kiya hai maine. This is what most of us say, right? I know about this topic extensively because I have done a lot of research on it. I have studied it in depth and all of that. So that is something what is similar happening here. So machines are learning through creating a neural network. So what exactly is neural network? I mean, if you are bio students, you understand, or even if you are not, all of us have brains, right? And we know that our brains are made of neurons, right? Neurons are just nerves that help to connect information between one point to the other point. Because, and if there is some say problem in that connection, then whatever we learn or think, or it takes time to reach our to external stimuli, right? So that is where what has happened here is there is a network of computers, or there is a network of machines that are created by humans. Okay, and this particular network behaves exactly like human mind. So that, like the neurons, there are billions of neurons in our mind. Now these neurons communicate to each other. Similar to that, these machines communicate among themselves. And what is the outcome of this? Since they communicate among themselves, they can do all the complex problems. They can solve complex problems. They can understand any analogy, reasoning, anything. So all these, I mean, and today, one very good example of this is all the algorithms that work in social media, or you go to Amazon.com and you come out of the website, immediately you start to see the ads, immediately you start to see Amazon sending you emailers that yes, this is what the product that you buy, bought the other day, here are some complimentary products. Or the moment you land on Amazon, they will give you another option. Okay, you bought this product, now there is another product for you. So there is a lot that's happening wherein one part of the system is talking to the other part, and all of them are behaving in a friendly way. So as friends, they all come to us saying, hey, we have great offers for you, right? So that's exactly what's happening with deep learning. And this is what most of the technology is being created right now, which are complex to understand. Yeah, can we click on the next one? Right. So computer vision. Now break these terms. Vision is to see, right? We see with our eyes. Computer, we know it's a system, right? So what if computers start to have eyes? So you can see computer vision as an eye of the computer. That's the literal way to understand it. Eye of the computer is computer vision. Now, how exactly eye of the computer can be used? Where exactly can be used? Have you heard about driverless cars? Driverless cars. I mean, Tesla has been experimenting it. Apple experimented. Google has been running some of these cars in LA and San Francisco, right? So driverless cars or self-drive cars are something that we are talking about when we see computer vision. So what is the technology that's driving these cars? Computer vision is the technology that's driving these cars. Computers can see, right? They see humans, they stop. They see some kind of impediment on the road, they stop. They they see the road is clear, they drive. They see a red light, they stop. So that's how computer vision is powering self-drive or driverless cars right now, right? If we move to the next part of it, NLP, right? Natural language processing. If we try and understand natural language processing we know, like to process something. uh, Language is again bhasha, right? In Hindi it's called bhasha. So we have different languages in India, and globally there are hundreds of languages or thousands of languages that are spoken. Natural is something which is related to nature. Now, if we bring that all these terms together and see, it has to do something with language, right? One system talking to other system, right? Now, it's how do we talk to other person? We can only talk to other person if we know their language, right? Suppose if I go and start, if I have someone who understands Swahili in Africa, and I go and start talking to the person in Hindi or in English or in any other language, I'm sure the guy will not understand, or if he talks to me in Swahili or any other language, I will have no clue what exactly is it talking about or she's talking about, right? What is happening here is in NLP, humans are or machines are becoming capable to talk to humans by understanding what exactly humans are asking for. And uh, do you think this is something new? No, let's go back to Siri, right? Siri was launched somewhere, what, 2011, 2012 kind of time frame. That's around 10 to 12 years ago, or even sometime we have the Cortana, we have a lot of other things that have come now. Google has a voice messaging system, right? What we do, we talk to the machines. Machines answer us. That is the language. So NLP, you can consider it as in a simple term, it's a language in which the machines have started to communicate with humans. They understand what we are trying to do. They understand and give us the answers that we are looking for. That's what NLP is doing for us. If we can click on the last one, please. And then comes the RPA, which is robotic process automation. So robotic, something to do with the robots. Process, again, yes, something has to creative and making it a complex kind of thing. And automation, right? Automation is going to automate. It has to work on its own. You don't need a human intervention. You may need to start it, but then after that it will run on its own, right? You have automatic cars, right? That does not require, all the accelerators and the clutch system. It automatically, you can just put it into gear and it runs, right? With accelerator and brake. So something of that nature closely related is automation. So while we do a lot of work on computer, we create Excel sheets, we work on different programs, we have hundreds of things to do. Today, there are tools or softwares that can do all of that and automate our processes. So what happens is do not have to wait for humans to spend time on those kind of work. And one very good example here is, like, if you go to call, say, Geo or some other platforms, right? Or if you are facing like you have, say, a Geo connection at your home for Wi-Fi, and suddenly the internet goes off. So you have something called GeoCare, right? So what do? We just go click on GeoCare, and there's a bot that opens up. That bot, we can talk. So NLP and RPA working together, right? We are talking to a bot now. With automation, robotic process automation, it has they have automated this process. So before my call actually gets connected to a human, the bots have gotten all the information from me of the problem, and they have even attempted to solve that problem in the first extent, right? Because they say, okay, let me test and all of that, and they will just show, okay, some internet outage here, or there's a problem with the router, or something like that. So this is how technology is getting integrated in whatever we are doing right now, or in our homes, in our lives, everywhere. So yes, there is no escape from technology. I hope this slide would have made sense to you now, and it may not be something which is very, very tough terms for you, right? And any questions on this before we move on to the next one? Any questions? Anyone? Any questions? Can I also hear voices from some of you at least? If you have, yes. Okay, so Faraz says carry on. Thank you, Faraz. So where exactly are we, right? This is something we need to understand. Where exactly are we now? So see, there are three types of generative AI, okay? Something which is called artificial narrow intelligence. There is something called narrow intelligence. Narrow word we know, right? Something which is not broad is narrow, right? In a simple term. Now, if we look at the word and a little deeper, there's another meaning to it, which is something which is still not very smart or still not very complex. It is complex, but still not up to the expectation of what we want to do, right? So that becomes like an artificial narrow intelligence. Now, artificial general intelligence, general is what? Something which is generic, easily available, right? We have generic medicines, right? Which are like a crude form of all the complex medicines that are created by the Pfizer's and GSKs and all of that, right? So have a lot of generic medicines here in India. So something of that nature, if artificial general or generic intelligence, wherein it becomes common, right? So when humans and machines will be at par in terms of knowledge, then we would say AGI or artificial general intelligence has arrived. That is where, and it's something that we could see in future. There are already a lot of debates happening. We will see in the next one on this slide itself how and when exactly AGI is expected. Because if you hear some of the interviews from Google DeepMind's CEO or even Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, you will hear them talk about AGI, their press release that they have done. They have talked, say, by 2027, 28, they will come up with something called AGI, and they're still working on it. There are a lot of debates whether you should be doing it, not doing it, and all of that. That's all will keep happening. But yes, there is a chance, may not be for commercial availability, but maybe for specific availability. There is a chance that we may get something for various machines which are on par with human intelligence. Some machines that can think like human, machines that have control like humans and work like humans, right? And artificial super intelligence, Superman, right? It's like a Superman. So something which is beyond human capacity, right? Artificial super intelligence. So the Terminator, Superman, or Robocop, something of that nature. These are all artificial super intelligence where you don't need a human altogether. Do we see that we get artificial super intelligence in some years from now, maybe 10 years, 20 years from now? We don't know. We don't know. We are debating about artificial general intelligence now. We don't know, maybe 10 years from now or 5 years from now, something else will come and AI technology gets powered, and we may try to start working in areas of artificial super intelligence as well. So we have no clue, because we have already started to create a lot of bots. We are creating the robots to do specific purposes. Robots are working in different manufacturing industry and different industry. They are driving cars for us now. So yeah, we don't know. We'll have to wait and watch on this. But yes, that's what's artificial super intelligence. If we can just click on this slide, yes. So there was a survey which was conducted online, and people were asked, by when do you think that artificial generic intelligence or general intelligence will come into play? Most of the people voted for the first option in less than 5 years, and this happened in 2023. So that's around 2027, 2028, and that's what Sam Altman, Google DeepMind CEO, and everyone is talking about when they talk about AGI. So AGI may come in some format, may not be as intelligent still as humans, but yeah, at least even if it becomes say 10% or 20% or 30% intelligent, close to humans, that is going to have huge impact on all of us, right? All of our lives. So it becomes like a technology which you just cannot ignore, right? Technology which we just cannot ignore. It is just as simple. So that's how important this technology is. If we can move to the next one, please. Next slide, please. Yes. So see, as I said when I started this presentation, I talked about artificial intelligence and generative AI. They are not same. Okay, we mistake that we think that okay, generative AI is artificial intelligence. Generative AI is a part of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is big. Artificial intelligence is your machine learning, deep learning, NLP, all of that we saw in the previous slide. All of those are components or dimensions of artificial intelligence. Generative AI is only one part of it or a subset of it, which has the ability to create. Till now, humans had the ability to create, to write, to think, to uh, create something from scratch. Now, machines also have that kind of ability, right? Now, if we talk about traditional AI, so traditional AI has been there since 60s, 70s altogether. And if you go back to 1956 or 60s, sometime there was a chatbot which was created. It wasn't say powered by artificial intelligence, but it did very much of the similar work what a chatbot does. And that particular chatbot, anyone knows the name of that chatbot? What was created then back then? Uh, okay, so yeah, can we please stay on the same slide, please? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So see, that chatbot was called Eliza. Okay, that's ELIZA, Eliza. Now, Eliza was tasked to talk to people who suffered from mental illness or who had some feeling of loneliness or depression in those days. Because and in those days, obviously, we do not have 8 billion people on Earth, right? So there were lesser number of people, and they had a lot of other things to do. So some doctor invented this, and he his name was Dr. Joseph Weizenbaum. He was in fact got a Nobel Prize from that. He's a German American physicist who won a Nobel Prize for this. So what happened with this was, so Eliza was created primarily to entertain, to talk to these people who were not feeling well or who had this feeling of loneliness in those days. To patients typically who were there in hospitals, because if you stay in hospital for some time, you obviously start to feel loneliness, right? So that was the purpose for which it was created, and that exactly was the main, say, uh, precursor to artificial intelligence or AI as a tech that we are seeing right now. And the purpose of traditional AI is typically to predict, to decide, right? So how exactly enterprise or people in the companies, they have been using AI in the past since 60s or since 70s, is helping them to make decisions faster. So that was how AI is helping most of us in the industry in the past, right? Having a predictive kind of nature, information, having a decision making power. And one good example, like if we go back, say, weather forecast, right? Earlier, or a tsunami forecast. Earlier, we did not have that capability way back in say 2014 when we had tsunami here in India in Chennai, right, or in the eastern part of Bay of Bengal. But today we have that capability where it gets people can predict tsunami days in advance, hours in advance, take precaution, and that is something that happens today because we know that okay, if we have say a cyclone or a tornado hitting a coast, we immediately evacuate people. So we have the loss of life has reduced, which wasn't the case 10 years or 20 years, because technology, even though it existed, it wasn't available commercially for everyone out there. The cost of technology was huge. So that's why it wasn't in use much. Now it is, because of, say, extensive use, the cost has also reduced, and it's being used much right now. While, as I said, generative AI mostly on the creating parts, whether you write content, design, or to become an artist, whatever. So you can use generative AI for that. Any questions? No questions? Okay, so I see someone has said, okay, expect has said also transformation or something. Okay, sure. So thank you. So yeah, I think from this boring slide, let's again move to something interesting with the images. If you can move to the next one, please. Yes. Okay, let's spend some time here. Let's try and understand this. How exactly humans create something, right? Suppose if I task you today or now, write a white paper or create a blog, okay, without using AI, what exactly would you do? You would first try to research about the topic that I will give you. You will try to analyze that topic, analyze the research, right? You will read through the articles, you will try and understand the article. Then you will take that article and pick up pointers which that you feel that should be good for that particular blog, right? With those pointers, you will create a rough draft of it, right? It could either be, say, a copy paste, or it could be you will write it on your own, right? And then once you have written it, you will edit it, or you will send it to someone else to get it edited, to check before it gets published. And then finally, you will go ahead and publish it, which is the output part. Now, this entire process, if humans have to do it, it takes anywhere between, say, at least 2 to 3 days, right? And if some of you are smarter, then yes, you can do it in, say, in hours as well. That's maybe at least 2 to 3 hours. If someone is very thorough in that particular topic, you can do that. But yeah, otherwise, most cases and majority of organizations, it takes on almost 2 to 3 days, because there are different processes and different kinds of complexities that are involved in writing, say, a blog or a white paper in any organization. Now, if I can just click on this and on the same slide, right? So what has happened now is what AI has done. Can you please click on this one? Move to the next one. Yes, yes, please. So what AI has done now, it is taking care of the first three things: research, analysis, and drafting, right? We need not depend on artificial human capability altogether, right? If we have to write a blog, you go write up, create a nice prompt, think about that prompt for 2 to 3 minutes, or spend some 5 minutes to plan your prompt. You input that prompt, it will research the entire billions of parameters that it has read. It will analyze everything. It will create a draft for you. You tell it to write in 500 words. You tell it to write in 1,000 words. It will write. You write at 2,000 words. It will write you complete draft. Now, as humans, what we can do, obviously, we can just take that content from AI and regurgitate, or just go ahead and publish it. That would be wrong, because AI is still not as smart as humans. So it does not throw right data. It does not throw right information. Sometimes it just cooks up information, which is called, you will come to know about this, something called synthetic data. Okay. So this is something which AI creates, and then AI also hallucinates. We all have heard this term hallucination, right? When many people suffer from hallucinations, they start to see things, they start to do things, right? It feels like and people call it hallucination. So something like that, AI, it happens also with AI. So AI starts to imagine in its own, okay, yeah, this is what I imagine, so I will just throw it on on your face. So that is what AI does with some of the content when we ask it to write. Now, humans have to get a greater role to play. So imagine in the first case, if we were taking, say, 10 hours to create this particular using human initiated workflow, now out of that 10 hours, at least 8 hours goes into research, analysis, and creating a draft. This 2 hour goes into 1 hour into, or say 1.5 hours into editing, and half an hour, say, into publishing and promoting it and all of that. Now, with this process, how much time is human spending actually? It's spending only 2 hours editing and output. You save here complete 8 hours here, right? So that's exactly what AI is supposed to do for us, and that's exactly what AI will do for us, right? So yes, next slide, Dan. Yep. So how many of you have seen these AI news anchors on Aaj Tak or Odisha TV or Power TV in Kannada? Anyone had gotten any opportunity? There are many more AI news anchors that has been created. Anyone, any raise of hands, show of hands, if you know their names. Right? Okay. So these were like, why only these three? Now there are more than this, but Sana, Lisa, and Saundarya are, say, top three, or they say they are the first AI created or AI news anchors, which were created by these respective news channels. And this is there, they are taking over jobs of actual news anchors who sit out there and talk about at the top of their voices on TV, right? And if you look at weather these days, like weather forecasts, most of these will be read by either Sana, Lisa, or Saundarya, or someone else. So that's how AI is transforming our viewership as well. And the other day I was reading about there is something called a complete AI news channel altogether. So there is a lot that's happening with the technology. Can we move to the next one, please? Next slide, please. Yeah. Have you heard about something called Amazon Grab and Go? Okay. So Amazon Grab and Go is again a product by Amazon. And what they have done is they've created a store, and somewhere in Seattle, where they're headquartered, what they have done is they've created a store where you just walk into the store, you pick the product, and you can just walk out of the store. You did not pay or interact with humans altogether. If we can just click on the slide again. Yes, one more time. Yes. So this is exactly what happens. Enter the store, grab the product and walk out. And how exactly you are billed? You are billed by your Amazon account. What happens is the moment you walk into the store, computer visions monitors you, takes your picture, attaches you to your Amazon account. The moment you lift the product, computer vision once again sees, okay, which it scans the QR code there, the barcode on the product, it attaches it to your account and says yes, it adds it to your cart. The moment you walk out of it, your Amazon account gets billed, or your card gets billed. So that's a model store that has been it's already functional. And now I think there's one or two Amazon Go stores in the US. Hopefully in future we may see more of it across different states in the US and also in India in maybe next 2-3 years. So this is now like a pilot project for them, but it can expand to other parts of the world as well. Can you please move to the next one? Yeah. Yes. So, okay, I have a question. When we walk out after taking the product, what happens? Can you say that again? Yes. So what happens is when you walk out of the store, your account actually gets automatically billed because the product gets added to your cart. You pick up the product through computer vision and NLP and then different technologies. They track that. They add the product to your cart. And the moment you walk, your account gets billed automatically, right? So you have Amazon card, Amazon Pay, and all of that. So it gets billed to that, right? So ultimately, you pay without, you don't have to stay. I mean, like most of us go to DMart and stay in a long queue for hours before getting our products billed. So that is going to become a thing of the past, maybe few years from now. At least there it is in a couple of stores in the US right now, but that will soon going to, I mean, will become something that we do not want, right? So the World Cup Doha. So what I'm going to do is I quickly cover some of these examples. I know we have overshot with the time. This is a quite interesting topic, but we will try and capture everything in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Okay. Now, if we look at what happened in World Cup Doha, if we can just click on this slide, ma'am. Yes, thank you. So what happened is AI was used for the first time to monitor this entire World Cup in Doha. And there were some 15,000 cameras that were installed across different locations to watch who is coming, how exactly the traffic movement is within the stadium, who is doing what. And it was completely monitoring the entire game and all of that. Although there was a very interesting incident where AI just kept following. There was a referee who was bald headed, and it just kept following. It thought that it's a football, and AI just kept following his head wherever he went, and that caused some data to become lopsided. But yeah, I mean, as I said, AI is still not very smart, but yes, it is already finding applicability in our lives. Next one, next slide. Yes. Okay. Do you know why we have Infosys and Nadal here on the screen? Anyone say how are they two related? You must have heard it anywhere, news, anything if you read or have heard from your friend or someone. Okay. So Infosys and Nadal came together. So Rafael Nadal became the brand ambassador for Infosys. So maybe you can take it as a answer for your quiz because there are a lot of business quizzes that happen in business schools. So Rafael Nadal became the brand ambassador for Infosys. Now, what exactly Infosys is doing with Nadal? Infosys is trying to study Nadal's game, right? There are tons of data that's available to Infosys on how he plays, what are the things that undergo in his shot, what power he's uh, doing a reverse reply or something. So there's a every complete set of things that about tennis that Infosys studying in order to create a model or module which can really help to upgrade lawn tennis in the future, right? So that's something going on. Next one, please. Next slide. Again, so Wimbledon, all of us, I think most of us are aware about Wimbledon. So this was the first time when Wimbledon commentary happened through AI. So AI is also doing commentary of different sports now. Next one. Yes, and can you identify this logo? Can anyone identify this logo? Yeah. Okay. So this is IBM Watson's logo. Okay. Someone says basketball. No, it's not basketball. It's IBM Watson's logo. Okay. That looks like a basketball, but it's IBM Watson's logo. So you see, these are the certain things which we have to be aware about while we are in business school, and that is where business schools help you to learn about these things, understand about and appreciate these things, because these kind of information will Well, imagine, I mean, if you get hired by IBM 2 years from now, so you should at least know that, okay, IBM Watson looks like a logo, looks like a basketball, right? Okay, next one, next slide, please. Okay, so I'll quickly skip this. I know it's a boring slide. So there are, yeah, good numbers. So important thing here is that there are four key areas: research and development, marketing and sales, customer operations, and software engineering. So these are the four key areas where 75% of the applications are being created by generative AI. Okay, someone is asking logo name. It's IBM Watson. IBM logo. So Watson is a AI tool or AI platform by IBM. So it's the logo of IBM Watson. Next slide, please. These are again typical use cases which you can find on internet. I will leave it on to you. Next one, please. Next slide. Yep. So misuse of, yeah, I am not sure if you have seen these two pictures. So on the left is a picture of Morgan Freeman. Most of us would have watched his movies. Very nice, and I love his voice. The quality and the coarseness in his voice is superb. So what happened is there was a video that got created, and where Morgan Freeman appeared in that video, and they said this is not Morgan Freeman. And this entire video was created by, again, generative AI in order to promote the kind of misuse that can happen with generative AI, right? And they tied up with Morgan Freeman to do this. So that's how this got created. On the right is our favorite person, Mr. Zelensky, who has been fighting with Putin for a long time now. So there was this video which appeared on internet saying Ukraine has surrendered to Russia, and it turned out to be fake. So, and then in fact, this election also we had Home Minister's video, which again turned out to be fake, right? So that's how the misuse of AI is happening, and there are a lot of regulations. Can we please move to the next slide? So there are a lot of regulations that are coming into picture. Europe already has drafted AI regulations. US is working on it. India again is working on it. It's not that we are behind on it. We are working on it. There are a lot of data policies that's there. Japan is working on it. In fact, few months ago, we as an organization wrote a white paper on it. It's still available. We wrote it for Indian Merchant Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So whenever you get time, go to our website and you can download that paper and read. So can we move to the next one? Yes, so very important question before we close today. So are our jobs in danger? What Mr. Sam Altman says, AI will replace customer service jobs first. Yes, and this has already started to happen in some cases. And but if we move to the next one, there are things that we need to understand as well. These are the top 10 fastest declining jobs: bank tellers or related clerks. So maybe all the people, when you go to a teller in SBI I mean, Citibank or any other bank, I mean, at least maybe in future we may not get that chance where we just go and say, okay, we lunchtime ke baad aana, right? That is the common thing that we hear. So maybe we may not get to get all that things in future. So that's how fast things are moving ahead. So these are top 10 declining jobs. This is based on a survey which was conducted again by Future of Work report and Government of India, and then some international bodies worked on it as such. Can we move to the next one? Yes. So I'm sure you must recognize the man on the right, right, Satya Nadella. So what he says is, yes, whenever there is new technology, so some kind of disruption happens, some jobs are lost, but there are new jobs that get created. That is what happened with in the 90s when computers came into picture. But today, computer has created an entire new industry, which is called software industry, and that is where I worked my entire career, and I'm still attached to that industry. So that industry that gave me a job to start with after MBA. So, and thanks to computers for that, right? So I'm sure you must also thank artificial intelligence, because few years from now, it will create a new industry, or it can maybe will become integrated to existing industries in a way where it will create more jobs than what we have right now. And in fact, there's a research on it which says that close to 337 million net jobs will be created in technology and related functions using AI by 2030 or 2035 something, right? Can we move to the next one? Yep. So 10 fastest growing jobs. So if you see a sustainability specialist, business intelligence analyst, information security analyst, fintech engineers, data analysts, AI and machine learning specialists. So where exactly do MBAs fit in? MBAs fit in all of these, right? Because with MBA, you get an understanding of every aspect of business. You work with them, you manage these guys, you help them to grow in their career, so you become manager, right? That's why understanding of technology is as important as a techie. For a non-MBA, or if you are an MBA, you have to understand technology, whether you are in HR, marketing, finance, it just does not matter. You have to understand technology, because you will be, the moment you join an organization, you will be asked to work on certain technologies which will be automated and which will ease your life. You must have heard about monday.com, notion. There are hundreds of other tools, canva, which we are using right now, right? Most of these technologies, all these are automated, and that's how the life is evolving for us. So we have to learn technology. Next one, please. Yes. So, hey, ChatGPT, finish this building. Can ChatGPT create a building? Still no. We don't know in future. Our skills are irreplaceable. We will not be replaced by AI, but someone who is leveraging AI, or someone who knows how to use AI will replace us for sure. So it is an alarming thing that yes, we have to start learning artificial intelligence. We have to learn about IT. We have to learn about technology, and start to understand and start to love technology. It's very easy to understand. That's what I have gotten from my own experience of how easy it is to understand technology. I know for when I started, it was difficult, but gradually it became quite easy, because I started to break terms into literal things. I started to understand the crux of it. That and it becomes very easy, because see, ultimately what you need to understand is the functional aspects of any particular tool. How, what is the application, how you can use it, and what it does. If you understand that, you become a good manager. You need not learn to code. You need not learn to write codes or make changes to the technology itself. That's not our jobs as managers. Our jobs is to help run the technology better. We can only do that once we know features offered by technology, how we can, what it can do, and how it helps us. Right. So that's why technology understanding is important. Can we move to the next one, please? Yes, so as I said, in future, software development, video creation, virtual reality, metaverse, I'm sure some of you must have some kind of avatars created over there, information security. So these are the areas where we will see a lot of changes in future using artificial intelligence. So that's all from my side. I have spoken for long now, so I would love to hear from you. Questions, answers, anything that you may have to throw at me, please go ahead. Anything? I see a lot of people here, but any questions, anyone, please raise your hand, ask. Okay, so I get one appreciation post from Faraz saying, I like this session and way of explaining, sir. Thank you so much, Faraz. Yes, I will love to connect and with all of you in person in future, and then have more detailed discussion on different aspects of AI. I wanted to just provide a very deep, or I say, and 30,000 overview of it. As a technology, it is extremely extremely interesting technology, and there's a lot that's happening with AI today in marketing, HR, finance. I will talk about it maybe in future, how exactly you can leverage artificial intelligence. Or when you join an organization, what are the technologies that you see will be powered by AI and you will have to use? Because ultimately, if you apply for any job today, so you will always see that some of these jobs ask you that, yes, do you know this particular technology? Do you know that tool called HubSpot? Do you know this particular tool called HRMS or whatsoever? So there are thousands of tools available, and some organizations, or majority of organizations, are running on these tools today. So it's important that if we have to get into a job, we need to learn these tools in advance and show it in our resume. Yes, I know this tool, I have worked on it, and I have functional understanding of the tool, so that it becomes easier for your HR manager to hire you and give you a job offer with a good salary. Right. So I hope I made a lot of sense today. Thank you so much for your time, and look forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you very much, sir. It was
Thank you,
really
sir.
an insightful session today. Any questions, students? Anyone? Okay, how to know what sessions will be conducted in future? You will get an update from our admissions team. Any other questions related to today topic? No questions. Okay.
Any questions?
So
So I think I hope all of you got understood, either understood everything or did not understand a thing, right? So that's okay. See, try and ask questions, because that's how you will become better managers in future. Okay, one of the very important aspect of becoming better in life and a better manager is to ask questions. However absurd it is, that doesn't matter. Don't think about what others will think or what others will think, or just don't care about it. Get your point done, ask questions, and that is something that will help you to move ahead in future, because in organizations you will be required to ask questions. Right. Sorry, please go
okay.
continue.
Sir, on behalf of students, I got one questions.
Yes, please.
How can AI technology be safeguard against misuse and ensure data privacy for individuals?
So very good question, sir. And in today's time, I think it's very important, because data privacy is something which is at stake at this point in time. And I'll cite two different examples here, which from my own observation is, there was an incident with a company called Adobe, okay, few weeks ago, wherein Adobe published a notification wherein they said that, and which said that they are upgrading their tool called Adobe Firefly, which is again something called ChatGPT of Adobe. And they were asking users that, okay, people, all the users of Firefly, they thought that, okay, Adobe is now going to use my data, and then Adobe they had to come forward to tell them that, guys, we are not going to use your data because it's your private data. In terms of, say, so see, that's if you have to understand, it's more like things that I am creating on ChatGPT or any other tool, it's private to me, right? I don't want to share it with ChatGPT or anyone else. I don't want the bots to read it and analyze it and maybe throw it as answer to someone else, right? So that is something which is dangerous. So that was the concern, well, for Adobe Firefly users. Now, similar incident a few weeks ago, again, we had a company called Apple launching its iOS, and then they launched Apple Intelligence, which they call, in partnership with OpenAI. Now, what they have said, Apple has taken a very proactive approach to this, to data privacy. And what they have said is the entire movement of information that would happen on Apple devices, wherein people will be using uh, Apple Intelligence or through Siri or through various work that we do in the iOS itself, everything is going to only happen at the local machine level. So AI is not going to interfere and use that information and obscure the privacy. That said, beside these two examples, there are umpteen cases where there are high probability that data theft will happen, and that's why regulations are being worked. In fact, Europe has come up with a very stringent do's and don'ts on artificial intelligence regulatory norms framework, and it has become like a benchmark for other countries. US has again working on an expansive AI regulatory format. India is again working, but India has two things. One is digital IT act, which is coming into which will be launched this year, I think around September or October time frame. And there will be other thing which is coming into place called DPDP Act, which is called Digital Data Protection Act. So these two together will play a role to safeguard our information in terms of whatever we do online. So anyone who, say, creators of these large language models or these platforms will have to disclose us how they are going to use the data, what is the purpose, and we will be asked questions according to DPDP how they are going to use this data. They cannot use our data for any other purpose other than what we have given it or shared it for. Suppose we book a ticket with a travel company, say make my trip, so they have to only use my phone number to send me the message of the booking that I have done. They cannot use my number to send me hundreds of messages about this offer, that offer, discounts, and sell it to someone, and someone just keeps calling me every time selling some their credit cards and all of that. That's not going to happen. So that's how things are coming up. And as I said, see, some of these things are very, very disruptive. So we are not at all, and even globally, no government is prepared or to handle these things. So most people learn it through when the technology is already in use, and that's how we had the IT Act come when obviously the software industry started to flourish. So something of that nature will also happen, and we'll have more stringent do's and don'ts for AI in place, so that data privacy and anything related to our personal information is not compromised. I hope that answered your question, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Now, uh, any questions further? No. Okay. Um, I would like to thanks our president, Sri Sunil Rane sir, AGI director, Dr. Nimare sir, Sefali ma'am, ASB director, Dr. Swati ma'am, faculty members, technical team, social media team, and all the participations for your valuable time for today's webinar, AI for everyone and how it makes your life easier. And once again, I would like to thank Alok Ranjan sir for giving insightful knowledge about the AI. Thank you very much, one and all. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you once again, everyone. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye. Take care.